Audio Jungle.
Good evening to one and all, and welcome you all for yet another one more episode of Ace of the Career, Ace of Your Career. So, we have been talking about career counseling for past about this is the fifth week I think successfully, and I'm so happy to do this session just because students are involved, parents are involved, community is involved. Thereby, if we are able to reflect any lives, that's a great thing, isn't it? So, on that note, definitely we owe a sincere thanks to IIU for giving this platform. As we all know, IIU is a global education confederation, which is established in 195 countries, 6 continents, thereby leading a virtual education system successfully, with the core mission delivering innovative programs and quality training programs to young learners and young leaders globally. Yes, talking about IIU, founded by Advocate Mr. Piyush Pandit sir, a visionary founder, a passionate educationist for more than 2 decades now, and a very committed social activist who has been working to uplift the lives of underprivileged children under the head of James International School, where about the education is my birthright and nobody should be deprived of it. That has been the main slogan, and that has been the main rationale. That has been the main objective of reflecting, uplifting lives of those small children with the goal. To do this, anybody would require help, resources from any part of the world. And that's why this platform, online platform, which is a great way for professionals like us to share our knowledge, sharing best practices, sharing knowledge. Thereby, we are not only contributing to the community, we are not only contributing or influencing the community, indirectly, we are also involved in the mission of Advocate Sri Mr. Piyush Pandit of uplifting, enhancing, influencing, bringing a change in the lives of those underprivileged children who are studying in James International School. So with that beautiful mission, this platform is established and is successfully been running for nearly more than about a decade now. And it was started in a small way, but now definitely it is prevalent in 195 countries, and people, whichever time zone of the day it is, from whichever country it is, no matter, you just show your interest, you just convey your interest to, to influence life or to bring a change in life for people by sharing knowledge. This is the platform. So a big thanks to Mr. Piyush Pandit, great visionary with such a vision, thought, and action that he is exactly doing what he has been saying, walk the talk. So on that note, let's come to our topic, that's today, career counseling. So what we have been talking about for 4 weeks now, exactly is that it's a process through which expert like us helps you with career exploration, career change, personality career development, and other career related issues. Exactly with the students, with the younger generations, like which is the career which is choosing? Which career should I choose? Which field of study should I choose? So we give them techniques that simplifies the complex decision into a very small task that can be handled and that we can move forward. So in that, the first week we were talking about profile and candidate building, where we highlighted on the main core baseline assessment of brain mapping, integrating your inner senses, your interests, your hobbies, or with your spirits that you can just work on, enhance your spirits such that you choose your career with the brain mapping test. saying that this career is most suited for you and you will be able to take it. So basically with the brain mapping, we were able to achieve certain. So the basic thing that we decided upon is to discover your interests, assess your aptitude with the 4/4 square method, evaluate your skills and value yourself, and then you will be able to take up your career. How does it really help? What difference does it make? A huge difference. Huge difference. Because the biggest threat in the society is that the children are changing their majors almost. It's a common scenario these days. I study one major for 1 year, then next year I choose another, or I choose some other. It keeps on happening. Why is it happening? Because of this. You're not able to compass, you're not able to align, you're not able to bring it in the exact stream way, the pathway where it has to be done. It's like climbing up steps. You're climbing up the steps. That means you should be careful in taking each and every step forward so that you are able to align more ahead. Isn't it? As in more ahead. Whereas if you miss the steps in shortcuts, what happens? You tumble down and come down. So that's what is happening. That's what is the changing of majors is all about. So to eradicate all things, the candidature is very important. The process which is involved is very important. And moving ahead, like then thinking about, okay, you have created your profile, you have aligned your interest and hobbies and everything, fields of study, your dream study, everything that you have aligned. Then what is the next step? You should know the expectations where you're going to study. This has various factors too that was discussed with the academic expectations, and then with the geographical matching, and also about your family, aligning with the family requisites and everything, and as a person about you. And so when we just align it, then you move ahead. So when we do that, now comes streams to dreams. Which stream should I take? Now you are very clear. You know exactly where your pathway, where you're going to go, how you're going to go. Then you know your expectations, where you're going to go, if I'm ready to go, how I should go. Everything has been very clearly mapped for you. Then comes exactly the fields of study. It's a vast, humongous. So normally what happens when we think about, say, for example, the medical field, what happens? I want to become a doctor, MBBS, MD, a surgeon, MS, only this. But it's not so. It is definitely not so. There are multiple careers which will make you happy and your life happy. Still, you want to be called as a doctor, you will be called as a doctor. But there are different ways. There are different norms. There are different disciplines which can satisfy this interest in you. Likewise, engineering field. Huge, just huge. And so many fields are there in engineering, well, mechanical, electrical, electronic, civil, and computer science with AI. And AI is just not as a study, basically, it can be as an integration along with the other fields as well. So all these fields of study that we have seen so far, say pure science stream streams and engineering field stream streams. And today, on that accord, we are here to discuss about commerce streams, finance. Exactly. If you're a finance person, if you're a number person, then which are the streams that will take you to your dreams? That's what we will see today. So on that note, please allow me to share my screen. Yeah, it's, I'm going to start the slideshow from the beginning. Yes, there we are. Let me bring all these controls down. Okay. So the financial blueprint, a strategic guide to careers in commerce and finance stream. That's what we're going to see today. Navigating your future in commerce and finance, a student's guide, basically. As we all know, we are very thorough about it today. We should be actually, because the third week that we are talking about exactly the streams and dreams. There's a structured framework of a self-assessment and a roadmap to education pathways in commerce and finance. Where do we start? 4/4 square method, basically. With the mathematical reasoning, mapping your orientation and aptitude, analyzing your learning style with the academic and practical approach of the natural trends of mathematical and social reasoning, mapping it with the personality of exactly where you want to get aligned with the intrinsic motivation and the role compatibility, such as So to become a visionary leader or a creative problem-solving person, all these things first you should decide about yourself in the 4-4-5 method. Then taking on to the streams. As we're talking about commerce and streams, commerce focus on goods distribution. So if your interest lies there, then commerce. And finance means on money management through investment and saving. So this is what we're going to see. The 4 fields of study is basically BCom, BSc, BPA or MBA, etc. And what are the 4 pillars of your career alignment? And that is that to evaluate orientation, aptitude, personality, and interest to match the personal potential with the market realities. Strong analytical skills, financial literacy, communication, and proficiency in application of the software in this AI-dominated world. So your higher impact career path would be investment banker, actuary, business analyst, and chartered accountant. So the mapping is very clear, I think. We'll move ahead with architecting a future beyond the obvious. So basically work on the self-discovery, identifying your strengths, values, intrinsic passions before selecting a degree. With a holistic mindset, equipping students with life skills and emotional intelligence and design thinking such that you are always ready to learn new things. With the careers reversing the brain drain by uncovering the immense potential within India and the rapid growing economy. So it all starts with the diagnostic compass being set for interest, aptitude, personality, and orientation with the competency profile of the commerce and the finance background. What do you need? High academic orientation, basic mathematical awareness, problem-solving skills, team management leadership skills. Should be a tech savvy, especially in Excel, who can do a financial analysis and who should definitely have a good articulation skills with communication and strong analytical skills as well. So if this is the DNA that we are talking about commerce and finance students, the crucial tool is a tech savvy. With the modern finance is just not a mathematical part. It's a mastery of application software like advanced Excel to pass the massive data sets. So mapping it with the terrain, exactly what's different. The commerce versus finance. Core definition of the commerce, as we are saying, it's a distribution of goods, services, and general foundation degree. Key subjects, basics of accounting, basic business law, management, and taxation, with the primary goal of equipping students to function broadly in a business world and distribution network. But if you want to become a finance person, the management of money with the investment and borrowing, lending, and saving, and the specific subset of commerce, with the economics background, the corporate law and investment banking, financial markets, mathematical concepts and statistics, utilizing the analytical tools and theories to solve specific monetary problems and make investment decisions. If you have mapped yourself between the two, where you will land up. The career destination part 1 says that you'll be number crunchers. Accountant and chartered accountant who manages the financial documentation, taxation, and organization financial health. You'll become an auditor, definitely verifies financial reports of accuracy, transparency, and regulatory compliance with the quantitative analysis. And with the wealth managers, you can become wealth managers as an investment banker, helps companies to raise capitals, manage assets in capital markets, and advise on MBAs. And definitely you can become a portfolio manager, investment with a mutual exchange trade funds, and manages day-to-day portfolio trading. Thereby, there is one more field in that, the risk assessors. Means actuary means mathematical statistics to evaluate the likelihood of the future events with the projection, future projection, with the foresight, etc., with the insurance and pensions, etc., and also a stockbroker with the professional trading and buying and selling in shares for clients. So now the career destination of part 2 with the advisory and strategy. As a strategist, like a basic business analyst, interacts with the stakeholders to design the modify IT business systems, solving and operational problems, etc. The guardian, the company secretary, the crucial link between the board and the regulatory bodies, ensure the corporate governance and manage legal records. The protector, the lawyer, the business lawyer, protects company in terms of complaints, contracts, intellectual property, the normal property, M&A, employment law, etc., etc., etc. And the guide, the financial tax consultant, provides customized plans to improve performance, navigate tax complaints, and ensure long-term stability in terms of investments or equity, etc., etc., etc. So this is second goal and destination. Now, The third career destination is beyond this corporate ladder. Definitely government and civil services. So the paths are Indian civil services, IAS, IPS, IRS, with Indian audit and account services, and with the focus of high-level national administration regulatory enforcement that you'll be working in Ministry of Finance. Academia and research, the industrial research, analysis and academic program director and financial educator, examining the financial models and teaching corporate executive programs, forecasting economic trends. For the entrepreneurial leap, you can always become a venture capitalist. You can start your own company, private equity, founder of a financial firm, who the focus of investing startups, scalable risk taking, creating new business lines, and etc. etc. Thereby, together, you will be reflecting, will be influencing the global economy. So, where does it start? If this is the future, if this is the destiny, where does it start? Exactly. The base is 10 plus 2, and then the foundation 3 years degrees of BCom and B honors, BBA Finance, BSc Finance, with eligibility of 10 plus 2 any stream. With the specialization, you move ahead with 2 years, 2 more years, MCom, MBA, MSc Finance, eligibility in the bachelor's degree, and the pinnacle of 3 years with a PhD, doctoral, etc., etc., etc. And choosing your foundation, the undergraduate specialization, basically this is very important. The BCom honors, the classics, the broadest foundation, the core subjects of corporate laws. You can study about corporate laws, income tax, microeconomics, and HR management. In BCom honors. And BCom BSc Finance for the quantitative method analysis, the focus being econometrics, debt markets, corporate finance, and business analysis. So this is how you should relate your inner being with the course that you are looking for. If this is your area of interest, then you can choose accordingly. So the BCom financial analysis for the tech savvy with the data visualization, risk analytics, and derivatives, and BCom strategic finance for future managers with the financial planning, operations, research, and international reporting. So with the certification matrix, decoding the alphabet soup, ABCD, the certification is Chartered Accountant, whose focus is audit and tax, duration 4 years, eligibility 10 plus 2, any stream that you can think about. If you are focusing on company secretary, which you are seeing before, the corporate law and the governance is 3 plus years, 10 plus 2, any stream with the eligibility. Cost and work accounts, CWA, is cost management with 3 years, 10 plus 2, any stream. CFA, that is Certified Financial Analyst, Investment Markets, 3 plus years, the graduation. Why is it 3 plus years? I don't understand is that. So you would start minimum 3 years and people finish it within that time, or sometimes it goes beyond. CFB, Certified Financial Planner, Personal Wealth Management, and it goes for more than eligibility, exactly, it goes up. And Certified Actuary with the wisdom insurance, 3 plus years, 10 plus 2 is any eligibility stream which is required. So if that's the thing, what is actually the entrance examination gateway says that is that CUET undergraduate, the language, domain subjects of and general aptitude with a maximum 700 marks and plus 5, minus 1 for internet online mode examinations are there. With NMIMS and NPAT examination, that is part qualitative analysis of exactly 40 questions and logical 40 questions, verbal 40 questions, total of 120 marks, which is a 100 minutes test with 1 mark per question and no negative marking. So I think this is easy. With the Christ University, CUET is GK, English, Affairs and Reasoning subject with 120 marks and 90 minutes session is a minimum time which is required. 1 plus 1 is the correct answer, 0.25 for the incorrect. So now we will try to connect the traits to the destination, with the ecosystem. Pathway quantitative analysis, the tech savvy of high mathematics, BSc Finance analysis, CFA, investment analysis. The pathway goes like that. Path 2 is the guardian, academic science of social sciences, BCom honors, company secretary, B business lawyer, corporate governance, and that's how the final destination comes in. Strategist, the high practical leadership with the BCom strategic finance, MBA, in finance manager, entrepreneur, and definitely this is not random. It's a result of intentionally aligning your intrinsic traits with the right academic and professional status. So construct your own future with the landscape of the commerce and finance is vast, but with a strategic blueprint, the path is clear. begin your journey today with the baseline assessment of self-discovery. So that's how the navigating the commerce and the finance streams guide says that. So these are the course of study. Align it with the 4-quarter square method, 4 pillars of career alignment, and definitely you can land up as either as an investment banker, actuary, business analyst, chartered accountant, or exactly you can make up your time. Now, when we talk about the commerce group, there's one more group which is kind of an ancillary with that, the economics career guide, navigating paths to the success. As we all know, the 4-quarter square method with the orientation, your interest, your aptitude, your orientation, the personality, counseling approach, which is very much required so that you take up the best path which is suited for you. And the essential candidate qualities are mathematical aptitude, curiosity of the social sciences, and ability to think independently with the core academic focus on microeconomic, macroeconomic, and econometrics. That way, you will have a different course of study ranging from 3 to 4 years, where the technical professional roles have evolved into this career opportunities and horizons. And you can always think about it, and you can always think about government and public sectors, and also academic and non-core growth as research analysis, journalism, etc. So the economic blueprint of 2026 says that a strategic guide to degrees, examination, career pathways in India, and the dual engines of economy, 2 eyes of economy, like in the science of creation, consumption, and transfer of wealth. So if your interest is in the area of microeconomics, so what are the basic characteristics of the traits that you will have is the behavioral, financial, urban economics, public, and political economics, which is basically with the microeconomics. This explores how individual people and firms produce and consume goods and services, focuses on rewards, work, specific markets, healthcare, human capital, etc. Macroeconomics is basically mathematics, then labor, international, industrial organization, economic history, and econometrics. Explores mass economic processes, intercountry trade, and the impact of government, physical, and monetary policy. The economics DNA. 5 essential qualities for the success in this field is mathematical aptitude, basically. Aptitude for maths and comfort with numbers, modeling, and statistical logic. Knowledge of social sciences, understanding the human behavior, societies, and historical context. And the curiosity to drive and understand why behind market movements and human decisions. Why is this happening? Analytical thinking. With the independent thinking, the ability to analyze data without bias and form objective, pre-informed decisions and conclusions. Dealing with uncertainty with the navigating and modeling unpredictable global financial and human variables. So if your DNA says this is mine, then you are. Or if you don't have this, but still you want to become an economist, you should gain this. It can work in both the ways. As such, with the practical 4-quarter square method, you know how to align your interest, passion and environmental interaction with the aptitude of natural capacities, math, science, and social sciences, with the academic orientation low to high and the practical orientation of low to high. The academic progression ladder says that it starts with obviously 10 plus 2, that is with undergraduate of 3 to 4 years, BA honors, BSc honors into integrated option of 5-year BA honors and plus MBA. And then postgraduate 1 to 2 years, with the doctoral 2 years exactly, we can go about it. And choosing the specialization, whether it is BA economics or BS economics, is something very tricky that you should be aware of or you should know about it definitely. BA economics is the qualitative analysis. Means the focus analyzes the economic processes, historical context, Indian economy, and the country's economy with the international trade relations. Core subjects the field of study will be micro, macro economics of Indian economy development, economics, political economy, and economic history. That elective goes as health, education, environmental, and public economics. With the quantitative eye, that is BSc economics, proactive real-world problem solving using mathematics, banking, international finance, and data. And the core subjects is foundation of maths, statistics, econometrics, IT applications in economics and research methodology, and electives of financial analysis, business accounting, intermediate econometrics, and behavioral finance. So what does the entrance examination dashboard says that the examination in university, Indraprastha University, that is DSEC, duration conducts a test of 150 minutes, format is online. NMIMS NPAT, Narsi Munji, 100 minutes duration test online. So you can apply for it, you can think about it. Set General conducted by Symbiosis, 60 minutes online. CUET, Christ University, 90 minutes test, it's again online. Ashoka University, AAT, 90 minutes online plus essay plus personal interview. UG Jet, Jain University, that is 120 minutes online. SNU SAT, Shiv Nadar University, conducts 120 minutes test online plus interview. So SSSIHL UGT University basically conducts 180 minutes online test. Jindal University JSAT is 120 minutes and online. And KIIT EE is 180 minutes online. Then MIT WPU conducts 120 minutes online plus interview, and Asymptote University, that is APU, 120 plus 60 minutes online. So with the anatomy of test, we have to focus your quantitative with maths, English plus verbal, logical reasoning is equal to GK plus other. So BA set is 40%, that is quantitative analysis maths is 40%. Then logic, GK plus other is 40%, and English and verbal is 20%. So NIMS and NPAT is again quantitative maths knowledge is maths analysis and maths programs, maths questions is for 33%. Logical reasoning is for 33%, and 33% is for English and verbal. SAT general is for 25%, 25, 25, 25. That is quantitative is 25, English verbal is 25. Logical reasoning is 25 and GK is 25%. JSAT is basically 33% maths, 33% logical reasoning, 33% is English and verbals, 1% is free. And the key insight is almost all major entrance examination heavily prioritize quantitative aptitude and logical reasoning alongside of foundational English proficiency. So you have to prepare yourself for this if you are choosing this paper study. And where will be the career horizons focused of the 4 pillars? Economics degree unlocks diverse sectors based on your aptitude. The technical market finance is the roles navigating corporate wealth, investment, and market health. Technical is data and risk management. Roles focused on statistical analysis, probability, and corporate strategy. If your focus is with the public sector and global, road shaping, national monetary policy, and global development. Academic and alternative roles focused on research, education, journalism, and entrepreneurship. So, is it economics as a study? These are the 4 pillars of different markets, career markets that we talk about. When it comes to the technical careers, going into the detail, diving deep into the technical careers of markets and capital, your investment banker is one option, raising money in capital markets with depth in equity and assets merger and acquisition. Equity analysis, research public companies to recommend buy and sell, hold actions for investors with attached strategies, new strategies. Banker and stockbroker facilitates banking duties and executes the buying, selling of the securities on exchanges. With the investment manager and the finance planner, manages portfolios, allocates capital, and guides individual business budgetary goals, etc. And also the financial level, which is a more kind of a senior financial controller, which is more kind of a senior level, oversight financial reporting, budgeting, regulatory compliance reports to a CFO. So if you take economics as your field of study or your interest of study, these are the future prospects that you can think about. With the technical careers of data, risk, and strategy, actuary assesses the manager's risk using probability statistic, predicting future events, data, natural disasters, etc. with the risk management. Econometrics applies mathematical and statistical techniques to test theories and models. Financial risk analysis identifies and evaluates investment risk, developing mitigation strategies. Plutologist specializes in the study of wealth, its distribution, and societal impacts on wealth inequality. With the business and agricultural industrial economics, researches specific sectors of inflation, resources, labor supply to influence high-level business decisions. And definitely data analysis in the banking extracts insight from larger customer data sets to create personalized financial products. Apart from this, non-technical, non-focus is that the public sector and the global impact also are there exactly. Non-banking policy, Reserve Bank of India, direct recruitment examinations of economics with the age, if you are between the age of 21 and 28, we have to apply for these examinations. With the Public Finance, National Institute of Public Finance and Policy, NIPFP, focusing on taxation, expenditure, and fiscal federalism. Civil and armed services with IAS, IPS, IFS, IAS, IRS via UPSC examinations. Armed force with CDCS, UPS examination. AFCAT with the Air Force examination. INAT with the Navy examination. Apart from that, there's always a huge dream that everybody carries. Anybody in the financial field, they carry is that to work with the global agencies like World Bank and ILO, the employment opportunity for experience in highly regarded economics. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, work as a desk economics guiding member and country policy specialist functional capacities. It's huge, isn't it? So apart from this, the academic and non-core pathways are also there. Academia and the research, as you know, it's research and development with CTET schools and NET, UGC and NTA for assistant professor roles, PhD holders and premium research opportunities, etc. And the institutions work with the premier bodies like NCAER, that is National Council of Applied Economic Research, and ICRIER, International Economic Relations. So if you're an academic person with research and development, writing policies, and having a very good forecast and the projections, definitely who can work with the reformations, the reforms that can be carried out with the Ministry of Finance, definitely this is the place for you. With the non-core entrepreneurial parts, with economic journalism, interpreting complex business finance and finance trade and policies for public interest and investors, so that you will be a spokesperson and you will be able to write and read and speak about economics. And entrepreneurship, replacing the deep dive market and knowledge and trend analysis and experiences, you build your highly profitable, scalable business, becoming an entrepreneur with the import and export houses, managing the international trade finance, foreign exchange trade agreements and global laws, labor laws, etc. So what is the basic thing required? Your strategic roadmap. Assess yourself with the 4-quarter square method to identify your true aptitude. Align it, choose it between the qualitative BA and quantitative BSc path. Prepare target specific entrance examination with NPAT, CUET, SCT, focusing on quant and logic. Execute it, enter the market via technical, government, academic, and non-core partners. So, thereby, the economics career guide navigates us our path to success. So, that's what we've seen. Now, architecting your future with one more field of the finance of the business knowledge. A structured roadmap from the personal self-discovery to professional realities. Architecting the tomorrow or a blueprint for a process. The future is not something that we wait for. It is something we design. This requires a fundamental shift in our approach to innovation, education, and leadership to solve real-world problems and build resilient, collaborative global community. What do we need to have? Redefining skills and mindsets. Innovate with empathy. True innovation solves real human problems ethically and sustainably. When you do that, you can't jeopardize the whole situation, as I always say. Adapt it over rigidity. Employability now depends on our ability to learn, unlearn, and relearn. Thereby, you are ready for the future-ready skill set, combining learning agility and emotional intelligence and digital literacy. Can we compromise on any of these? No. Thereby, empowering people with potential with education must develop capacities, not just information. Nurture critical thinkers, creators, and ethical citizens over rote learners, because you are the leaders of today and not tomorrow. You are the leaders of today. You're thinking about youth means you're thinking that you are the leaders of tomorrow. No, that saying is over. The new mandate is you are the leaders of today. So empower them with the responsibility, mentorship, and the real opportunities now, where leadership is defined by values and courage. It's not about age. It's not about title, but about the willingness to act and change. So drive collective action for the global challenges. End of the day, whatever that we learn, whatever we get from the society, give it back to the society. That's the thing, isn't it? So the global challenges demand collective intelligence. As we know, no single nation or institution can solve them alone. Collaborate with a new competitive advantage, and trust across borders, culture, and disciplines to succeed. So the career success begins with a profound self-discovery. You know it very well by this time. So with the 4 quarters square method, So this deconstructing the natural talents and the learning styles of the aptitude dials in the mathematical computing, scientific critical thinking and experimentation, social sciences and languages with the skill-based practical task-oriented abilities, with the orientation switches of academic theoretical, aligning with the academic practical, low profile, low academic, high academic, the low high academic and low practical, with the people with a strong interpersonal collaborative focus and the rigid mindset preferring Jordan perspectives. So mapping your professional personality as an explorer, visionary, you're a creator, you're motivated, wherever you fit in, map, right? Bring the compass, that's that you will be able to find your direction. So clearing the confusion between the management versus administration, whether you are going for business management or business administration. Now, how do they decide? That's what people ask. Core focus, business management, people-centric, organizing talent and resources. Business administration, process-centric, nuts and bolts of running a business. So, nature of work, business management establishes vision, strategic goals, and expectation. Business administration focus on basic operations of finance, sales, and marketing and execution. And what are the key skills for the business management? Requires soft skills, leadership, open innovation, and problem solving. With the business administration, requires specialized core technical skills for specific operational areas. So the manager has a structural bridge for the prevailing organizational resource and talent, where planning, organizing, leading, and controlling resources to ensure all aspects of the organization work. Where you're a business manager, you'll be exceptionally with what are the traits, what are DNA, so-called DNA is that exceptional communication skills, critical thinking and problem solving skills, employee productivity tracking with empathy, and budgeting and performance evaluation. That's the DNA that we're talking about. You'll be able to move ahead with your own strategic goals and expectations. With the business management system translating 15 tangible career trajectories mapped by the core operational function with a modern organization as strategists, financial architects, market frontline managers, and builders and operators. So let's go into the ecosystem. The first one of strategic and visionaries. You will become an entrepreneur, identifying opportunities, assuming financial risk, and driving innovation to solve market problems. You can become a brand manager, develops and executes strategies to build brand equity, positioning, and customer loyalty. You can become a marketing online ad manager, plans campaigns across physical digital channels to drive brand awareness and business growth. Public relation, PR managers, shapes organizational narrative, managing public image and media relationship. So if you are with the cap of strategists and visionaries, you fall into these. What is the ecosystem 2 says? Your builders and operators as human resource manager, the crucial link between the management and staff directs recruiting, hiring, and strategic administrative planning. With the information technology, IT manager directs the technological backbone, plans and maintains hardware, software, and network system. Project and performance managers coordinates cross-functional teams to deliver projects on time, budget, by setting policies that define core values of the employee performance trends, developing a HR culture. The third ecosystem of the financial architects say that finance manager oversees, as a finance manager who oversees the financial wealth of the organization, producing reports and developing long-term financial strategies. Financial planner, personal financial advisors who guide individuals and organizations in business in critical budgetary, savings, and investment decisions. With the investment manager who manages the investment portfolios on behalf of clients, maximizing returns and managing risk based on economic threats. With the economic ecosystem of 4, the market line, the front line, the retail manager oversees the daily operations of the retail outlets, ensuring the smooth customer experiences and sales efficiency with the Google reviews. And market research analysts gather data on consumers and competitors to understand what products people want, who will buy them, and what price. So this is very important, the market research. And customer service assistant interacts directly to customers, resolve issues, provide support, foster positive long-term brand relationship. So aligning the internal blueprint with the external horizon. Now, if you are a visionary with highly academic, highly practical thinking, then you will become a strategist, entrepreneur, brand manager, etc. If you're an explorer who is very highly academic but low practical, you can become a financial architect and researcher with an investment market manager or a market researcher. If you're a creator with low academic but highly practical, you can become a builder or operator with IT manager or project manager. You're a motivator with low academic and low practical, you can become a frontline market person with a customer service and medical services. So today, begin your process of self-discovery. Assess the complete career guide, detailing the top institute-specific degrees of BBA, IB, and MBA and entrance examination roadmaps. Thereby, architecting the future with a blueprint of the progress. That's what is ensured about. Now, moving to the finance, there is one more field which is kind of an ancillary to the finance study, is the art and humanities. We consider. So a comprehensive way of finding a guide to the students who are interested in that, with a philosophy, purpose-driven education, with the self-discovery, identifying strength, with the holistic education of personal life skills, the emotional intelligence and design thinking and the rote learning, uncovering the immense specialized potential in the rapid growing economy. What is the diagnostic blueprint says? The 4-quarter-square method, the interest, aptitude, personality, and orientation. To work on this, and definitely you should be able to move ahead. And if you're wired for art and humanities, what is it we could say? The success in these fields requires specific, cognitive, and social profile. Means adapt research analysis with the preservation and observation. That is, first thing is ability to read extensively and communicate exceptionally well. Highly skilled at arguing, debating complex concepts. Then adept at research analysis, presentation, observation. A unique mixture of people with academic and practical orientation. Highly inclined towards social sciences and languages. Comfortable and engaged in reading people. That's why it says an art which is related to the human. So defining the domains of expression needs analysis. The art, as they are, the creative expression of human imagination. If you have that, then this is very well. Creative ideas through visuals, photography, painting, sculpture, performance, sound, movement, storytelling, literature, poetry, fiction, drama, all these things. Basically, the arts, the music, dance, and drama. Synthesis. If you are a synthesis when it comes to the art, is that deeply interconnected? Studying art provides insight, humanities, shaping our understanding, fostering empathy, communicating across cultures. Humanities, unless of the analysis of the human experience, studies culture, history, language, philosophy, and society through critical thinking, logic, and research. And the academic progression timeline says that you start with the undergraduate of 3 to 4 years, integrated masters of another 2 years or 5 years, masters of 2 years, and integrated master of 5 years, and doctor of 3 years. And that's how your academic progression takes you towards your career. Definitely. And specialization constellation says that understanding human heritage, starting from the ancient Indian history. If you're a person who is interested in ancient Indian history, exploring civilization, political structures, economic life, etc., with the ancient religions, art and architecture, then epigraphy, etc., this is your field of study. Then the idea of Bharat with the modern world, connecting past to the present to the future, with the history of researching arguments to undergo how our present is interconnected with the past and how we're going to take it forward to the Asian resurgence and environmental issues for the future. And where the connection lies with anthropology, science study of human biological evolution, cultural diversity, cultural studies, applied anthropology, religion, ethnography. So that's what the whole mapping says about the constellation of study when it comes to the art and humanities. Now, with the specialization, what does it say? Which are the areas of interest or areas of excellence that you come from? Language, media, and expression, with English literature as a main course of study, where you have Indian classical, Roman writing, post-colonial literature, poetry and drama, etc. With the phonology, with the semiotics, linguistics as a study of language structures, sounds, and social context, with the lexicography and psycholinguistics, and all it amounts to another field which is called, which is quite very dear to everyone, the multimedia and mass communication with the integration of text, audio, and visual to shape public opinion and culture, with the graphic designing, public service broadcasting, global media, and television viewings. So, moving ahead, which is very important, is another field which we cannot compromise or we cannot make light, is a global and security landscape. So if you're going to express yourself, it has certain norms, and we need to comply to that. So the international relations of dynamics of global politics, diplomacy, security, and international law, the gender plus IR, and global politics, international security, the global political thought, and with the change of urbanization, developmental studies with the interdisciplinary approach to fostering sustainable development and human security, gender development with the governing and ecosystems. If these are your areas of study, you can think about it with the defense and national security, national defense strategies, military affairs and intelligence, with the cyber security, geopolitics, maritime security, and military physiology. So the career cluster says that storytellers and communicators, you can become an anchor of the program, broadcasting professionals, and a journalist, a reporter, reports and gather and presents facts on the ground, and investigate research, analysis, and interpret information for the public. Copywriter, agency professionals, crafting, persuading messages, designing to influence audience actions like purchase and brand engagement. A radio jockey, RJ, host who engage listeners, manage audio content, and create entertaining atmosphere. The screen writer, architects with a visual media craftsman, historian, and director, consumer, and so you can think about this as well. Career cluster of analysis and decoders, economics. Now you understand why I've brought art and humanities into this topic when we're talking about finance and business management, commerce and study. Career cluster of this art and management, the second analysis and decoders says that economies analyze the production of consumption, utilize statistical methods to understand the mathematical behavior of guide strategic decisions. Political scientists research of government systems, policies, ideologies, who provides insights to shape public policy and strategy. With sophologists, specialists in election outcomes and analyzing voting behavior, demographics to inform electoral strategies. Sociologists, researchers investing how culture, economics, political influence, human behavior, inequality, and family dynamics come into it. Behavior analysis practitioners applying behavior sciences to modify human behavior, often aiding those who with developmental disorders. So, career cluster of preservers of human heritage, which comes with archaeologists, curator, historian, philologist, and restorers. If these are the careers that you think about, connecting past and present with the secondary sources, interpreting and presenting it, the collection of the interpretation of the materials that we have estimated with the restorers as restoring culture and architectural legacy, and the specialists on analyzing the history and the release of the languages, focusing on ancient present relationship with the culture. So these are the careers that we can think about. So, architecting tomorrow is a blueprint for the purpose with redefining skills and mindset, innovate with empathy, adaptability over rigidity, and you are ready for the future ready skill set. Thereby empowering people and potential with capacities, not just information, where you think that you are the leaders of tomorrow, but not so today, where the leadership is defined by values and courage, driving into collective action of the global challenges, demanding collective intelligence where you're going to work in collaboration with a new competitive advantage. So with that, we have come to this session of career counseling for Okay, so we have come to the end of this session. Thereby, we have talked at length about the career counseling or the counseling aspects of basically the field of study of finance when it relates to commerce, finance, and accountancy. So if your interest lies there, so you can think about this as a career and you can make a preference in these fields. Thank you so much. On that note, we thank IIU together for giving this wonderful opportunity of sharing our knowledge, sharing our experiences. And in a big way or small way, we'll be able to reflect lives. Thank you so much. So next week, we'll meet again with yet another one more topic of career counseling. Thank you. Until then, it's Srividhya Sukumar. Thank you.